Hey, welcome back to Fake Deep Thinking. Just a group of friends come together, talk about some news, politics, and some cultural Let's introduce the crew. We got John. I know I kind of like slurred that a little bit. I kind of came out weird.
I
You
thought
see
you were
some
saying
cultural
cultural
shit.
shit.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah. We're like, yo,
Let me
I'm
you
take a
saying.
changed
sip.
it.
Going hardcore for the culture, man.
I
Yeah,
had some spit in my mouth. I had some
Mhm.
spit in my mouth. That's why I was like,
You
we
had
need
some
some
shit, you
water.
had some shit in your mouth. That's what you had.
I was like, bro, you're the one that changed the intro to be less fucking
I
intense.
didn't. I didn't mean to. I'm
You totally
sorry.
walked that back.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think I like cultural shit. I honestly think I'm a fan of that wording.
Next time you can do the intro, you can do it first. I think you'd say it with a lot more pizzazz than I do.
What we
Just
You
talking
walk
got
about?
into a museum, like, look at all this cultural shit.
All this cultural shit.
well, let's introduce the crew. We got John,
You.
Doc,
Yo,
Doc with the cadence. That's what I should start saying. Doc with the cadence.
yo.
Yo. Ian in the figurative back.
What up?
And myself, Eugene. So this is going to be a little bit of a quick one because John's got somewhere to be. And as you can clearly tell, I have yet to shower. I am still dirty and sweaty. But we nevertheless are going to dive into some funny topics, which is, as you can tell from the title, New York elites are wild. So this old topic, what's up, Ethan? Finally call. Yes, man, it's been a while. Things have been busy on all our ends, and we're finally able to be a little bit more consistent again. As you can tell, I have moved. I'm in a new place, so that's what I've been busy doing.
Gene stays on a farm. Don't let him be humble about it. Gene finally got his fucking farm.
I am
So
officially on a farm. Yes,
whoop
He's doing
whoop,
pirate
whoop
radio now from his farm.
private
his
radio from
farm.
a farm. I'm a true conspiracy theorist now.
Yeah, they're gonna he gonna have helicopters flying over that bitch soon. Watch.
Hey, God forbid, man. It was actually before we get to the topic. It was funny. I got pulled over for speeding, going 52 and a 40. And obviously, I recently moved, and instantly the guy was like updated all my information because obviously, like I have guns, so he's like, you got to have all this thing up to date. So he's like, instantly record was updated on the spot, and I was like, damn, that upset me a little bit.
That boy was riding. That boy was riding dirty.
No, I was clean, but I was not going 52 and a 40. I'm disputing that 100% when the time comes. Anyway,
How would you go about disputing that? Do you have like the thing that
it's gonna be.
records?
I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be hard to dispute because I didn't have my camera on motorcycle at the time, and
Okay.
then two, I'm kind of banking on him not showing up. My argument's gonna be basically like I want him to pull up the footage from his dash cam because I was behind a car. If I'm overtaking that car, then maybe I'm going 52. I don't think I am because I know I wasn't overtaking that car. But if I'm not overtaking that car, there's no way I was going 52.
Nobody can do it as you.
I mean, I'm a try. Doesn't I mean I'm a try.
Let me know how it works going against the government and all,
You're right. I guess it's going against the government, more like going against the local government. Anyway,
which is worse. But go
that
ahead.
is worse. No, to a degree, I can understand that one. But speaking of speeding tickets,
Okay.
let's talk about the first New York elite. We had the New York DA cursed at officers and refused to comply during a traffic stop. Police body cam video shows. So let's watch the video. Actually, we probably just need to watch the video. I think we really need to read the article, and then let's react to some elitism. Go ahead and play it, Ian.
York is now apologizing after she was caught on video berating a police officer who tried to pull her over for speeding.
Sandra Dorley drove home instead of stopping. The officer's body camera captured the entire encounter.
Can you stay over here, ma'am? This is a
I'm
traffic.
not
This is a
over
legal
here.
traffic stop, ma'am. Do not go inside,
Oh my God!
ma'am. Come outside. You can't just go inside. This is a traffic
Yes, I
stop. Here's your
Don't
phone
you-
back.
I understand the law better than you.
You say you're a DA?
I am the DA. You know what I've been dealing with all day? 3 murders in the city. And do you think I really care if I was going 20 miles over the speed limit?
Okay, lots to
right.
unpack there. The
Pause it,
DA.
We need to watch that part. All right, let me read this part real quick because she had eventually, obviously, because there's a lot of backlash from this, had to issue an apology. And at the very bottom, Ian, where it says an apology investigation. Yep. Hochul, in her statement Sunday, said Dorley's behavior was an in contravention. I've never heard that word before. in contravention of her responsibility as a district attorney and undermined her ability to hold others accountable for violating the law. Dorley issued an apology video Monday, WHEC reported, saying, "Last Monday I failed you and the standards that I hold myself to, and for that I am sorry." She added, "I fell short of the values I've held for my entire 33-year career. I didn't treat this officer with the respect that he deserved. All police officers deserve respect." She said that she had come from work that day and dealt with 3 homicides that had occurred the weekend before. "I was still reeling from a frightening medical concern that my husband received that afternoon," she explained. "But we all have bad days and stress, and it was wrong on me to take it out on an officer who was simply doing his job. While I had previously apologized to him, I will say it again, I'm sorry." She said she pleaded guilty to the speeding ticket and will pay the fine and is referring the matter to a different district attorney's office for review. She said she'd also self-reported the case to the grievance committee. "If one of my assistant district attorneys had acted this way, I would have disciplined them. So I'm disciplining myself. I will take the ethics training to remind myself that professionalism matters." She said, "I've been humbled by my own stupidity, and I am fully to blame. I will make this right. I ask for forgiveness." NBC News has reached out to Dorley office and Webster Police for comments. So, yeah, she's not sorry. She's just
she's not
damage.
sorry. She's
Yeah,
just,
damage control.
She just got caught. That's all that happened.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not surprising. Like, I mean, not to be a little biased because it's New York and I'm from Texas, but like, this is what you expect from New York. They don't. You think New Yorkers like specifically like the DA and the politician, the elite? You think they respect police officers? They don't care about them.
Disrespect.
You're muted.
You turned. You turned.
You said what?
I felt disrespect coming, but then you turned. You said the DA, and then you said New Yorkers. Now, hold on.
You're
I felt a little
Flatbush. I know.
disrespect.
Trust me, I know.
Come on now. But I ain't gonna lie to you. She hit him with like 7 excuses. Do you know who feels really bad about the homicide? Do you know who feels really bad about the homicides? The people's families who were related to the people who were killed. They're probably having stressful days, and they still had to follow the law, I'm sure, to and from the courthouse, the autopsy place, wherever they went. Like, they still had to follow the law. Then she said 3 homicides. Her husband has a health thing. The health thing just popped up that day. Like, that was the day, ironically, like coincidentally, the 3 homicides and that health scare
No,
popped
it
up
was
that day.
last weekend. It said she had to deal with 3 homicides from a last weekend case. So it's not even the current weekend or that week she was in. It was from last weekend.
She said, "Do you think I care?" So basically, what she mentally did is saying she's one of those people who feels like maybe the work she's doing is actually good. So
Yes.
the fact that she's doing that much good dealing with homicide cases and stuff
She
like
gets
that,
free passes.
yeah, she shouldn't be held accountable for what regular people are because she's putting criminals away in her mind. Which
I mean, I'm sure in some cases she probably is, but if I'm going to be completely honest with you, New York's. Hold on, let me reel it in. Let me reel it in real quick. New York has done tremendous work at destroying law where certain criminals cases are no longer crimes. Like, it's. I'm trying to like reel it in and be like careful here because I'm not trying to go on one of my little
give an
passionate.
example.
So, for example, people get arrested for, let's say, petty crimes like thievery or something like that. They're released the next day, if not that night. Like, the crimes are no longer reported the same. That's, and not to go on another tangent, but that's why Biden's able to report recently. Karine Jean-Pierre said that crime is at an all-time low, and that's not true. They just don't report crime the same anymore. Crime is actually at an all-time high. They just don't report certain crimes anymore because they want to fudge the numbers. And New York is notorious currently from the past this current administration for doing this. So I just don't believe her. Like, I don't have any empathy for her. I don't. I'm sure she does deal with some crazy cases that are homicidal cases, blah blah blah. But like, they throw out a lot of cases where she should be dealing with, but she's not. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in this. I acknowledge that, but I just don't have any sympathy.
The DA.
Yeah, the DA.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of made me callous to the whole situation. When she said that, I was like, "Oh, she's got her head up her own ass." Like, at this point,
If she's the DA, chances are she's only handling the big cases like the homicides anyway. Just because they wouldn't trust that with a DA assistant or what is it called? I think it's a DA assistant. But She obviously, dude. Was she trying to? Okay, so question: what do you think her strategy was there?
I don't think she had a strategy. I just think she tried to flex her figurative power to get out of a potential ticket. Like that's I don't think there was any strategy. I think it was just pure emotion.
Aggression.
Yeah,
So
he
she was
was
trying
Yeah.
to bully her way out
he
of it.
expected the guy
Yeah.
to like walk away from it and be like, "Oh, it's the DEA," and just like scurry back into his car.
Yeah, 100%.
She's dumb.
Exactly. Like
You don't like. I've seen cases where cops will be more lenient towards cops or their lieutenant or other stuff like that. And district attorney, yes, she probably does work closely with the police force. So I don't understand, but I get why she would try and use that angle. But when you talk to somebody that way, now you're just ego against ego. And that wasn't even like, if that was her end goal, that wasn't even the way to go about it. Like, that's a abrasive way to, like, you're not going to talk to a cop who literally in all facets of their job, except for when they're in their headquarters, they're in charge. If every
Look-
police stop and every interaction they have, they're in charge. And now you're literally not only taking that away, you're not negotiating it away. You're not even trying to appease them. You're literally saying, "Fuck you, I got the power." That's not gonna fly.
that's
Yeah, I mean,
Go
just
for it,
take the
Doc.
ticket and then have the person that can fudge the ticket just do it
Just do what they need
2
to
days
do after
later.
that.
Yeah, nothing happened.
I think you hit the nail on the head, John. That's exactly what happened because I think we've both expressed this sentiment towards each other when we've had our interaction with police, but it's very annoying that when I'm involved in a situation with an officer, I as a civilian feel the need to make sure he
De-escalate.
feels safe. That he feels safe, he feels like he's in control, and everything's copacetic and de-escalated. I'm making sure I'm going away for him. And in that situation, instead of her going through those checks, she was like, "No, you're supposed to be doing this for me. I'm the DA. You shouldn't be doing this in the first place." Like, I think that honestly, you hit the nail on the head. I think that's exactly where it came from. She couldn't imagine someone else being in a position of power over her when she's the DA.
Keep in mind too, they followed her home. Like
Yeah, that's that,
they tried to stop her. Like she just
and she
refused.
didn't stop. Imagine, bro. Imagine. And there was only one officer who was following her. As far as
And
I
she
know, I don't know.
identified. And she identified. First off, the officer that pulled her over knew she was the DA by the time he ran her tag.
Yeah, for
Second
sure.
off,
Yeah.
At that point, he was following
second
her on
off,
spite.
she didn't even like. She didn't get charged for eluding police.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I'm thinking too. She only got the ticket. That's like, dude, there's a
Yo,
way harsher crime on top of that.
this is getting more grimy.
Right. And then
Resisting
New York,
arrest?
dog.
Like the cops throw that out like candy. Like that was a clear case of past
First
situations
off,
I've seen of a resisting arrest situation.
did she get arrested at the end?
I don't know, but I'm
No.
pretty sure if she wasn't the DA, it would have been a resisting arrest
I don't think she
charge.
got arrested. How did this situation? Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Situation resolve itself.
I think
I
he
don't.
wrote her the ticket, went back to the office, and then probably started gossiping and sending it out,
And
and then sent the
complaining
video out, and it just hit
Yeah.
fucking
Wrote her a
local
ticket.
news.
Yeah,
So he did he did acquiesce to her
Yeah.
demands.
because unfortunately,
She's
DAs
supposed
do
to go to
have some.
jail.
She what?
She's supposed to go to jail. She's supposed to be arrested for
She wasn't
eluding police. She's
eluding
supposed to be
police
arrested. She's supposed to be in jail. Like, there's no. I'm not saying she's supposed to be in jail for a long time, but she's supposed to see cuffs. Cuffs are supposed to touch skin.
because she was supposed to be detained. When you get pulled over for speeding, yet you're being detained in that moment. And she tried to in the video. She tried to go inside her home. Like that's some officers will receive that as a threat because they don't know what you're going inside your home to potentially retrieve. So like it's wild that she was able to go through all these steps and the cop. Well, as you Doc pointed out, he's 100% I think right. He ran the tags, figured out who the DA, so he didn't feel threatened. But it's wild that she gets this free pass to do all these things that any other person would have definitely got either arrested or probably shot at for.
Yeah. Yeah, there would have been a lot of tension on. I mean, it's like you said.
You're
Like,
muted,
another
John.
person,
You're muted.
scared of them, and in this situation, he definitely wasn't scared of her. He was just doing it out of like, just to do the right thing.
Even me, I would have been Y'all would have seen me on the news. People would have been marching. It would have been. I would have been another statistic, boy.
Nah, I don't like. I talk a big game, but that's probably I hate interacting with officers because that's the only situation where I feel like such a weak man because I let them walk over me. I let them I don't ever push back. It's like whatever you want, bro. You want to
Talking
search
about
me,
if we
bro? Get out of the
handled it.
way.
I'm talking about if we had. First off, if we handled it the way she handled it, let me tell you something. There's one difference for sure. Even if I'm not dead or killed, I'm getting tased, 100%. Taser, 100%. I'm going in my house. I'm trying to walk in my house, turn my back. I'm getting tased, brother. I'm getting tased, brother.
I mean, it depends on the cop. Either one's gonna taser or one's gonna tap you. It depends which one you're dealing with that day.
I may get
Make it
tackled then
both.
tased.
Or maybe both.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, this is privilege. Like, this is prime example of privilege. And arguably, you can make the argument if you want to go in the political route, white privilege.
I think
DA
this is
white
more
privilege.
DA privilege.
Oh, I know. I'm just adding that extra element to be
Yeah.
controversial.
I'll tell you what. So this is how I gauge things, but a black DA wouldn't have gotten a lot. The level, because well, I guess honestly speaking, it just depends on the town and the cop, the demographic. Because there are some black DAs who'll get it in a predominantly black city. Like if you're in Philadelphia, you might be, you know what I'm saying. And New York is. It depends on what area in New York, but I just don't see nobody. I just don't see anybody being able to give that level of disrespect to a police officer and not seeing any physicality at all. First off, I'm clapping for the cop. Well done.
He
As
maintained his
far as
composure. He's cool. He's
keeping
patient.
composed.
Everything.
But
Where
that
was
might have
that in
only
other
been
situations?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my mouth. I'm sorry. Let me keep my shut. Let me keep my shut. I'm
but
sorry.
that might only be because she was the DA. Nick he was like, "Oh, I want to bitch up, but I can't because she the DA." So
But isn't that wild though? Like I that this whole situation irks me more because it's like the only time I shouldn't say the only time, but it does seem to be that the only time officers ever express or extend some level of patience, some level of de-escalation, or any kind of whatever you want to call it, words you want to use, is only with elites, people of power, or people of influence. If you're of neither, it's a tase or a tackle or both. And sometimes, God forbid, a bullet. And it's wild.
Song as old as time.
Oh, I got nothing else to say about this. You guys got anything
I was
else?
gonna say good shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, even Eugene, you're but I mean you're a Mexican dude, so I don't even consider that shit. But like we grew up like our parents telling us how to interact with police. Like if a cop talks to you, yes sir, yes ma'am. Like how to de-escalate, if you will, with police. Like not once has my parent growing up, unfortunately, ever said, "These are your rights. Stand on them in front of police." They've always just said, "Do whatever you can do to get out of the situation."
Yeah. It's the mindset of like there's a predator in your vicinity. How to survive.
Exactly. That's why I hate having those interactions because that's like I said before. That's when I feel like less of a man because I'm letting this man walk over me. And sometimes I'm wrong and it doesn't bother me as much because I know I'm wrong. And then sometimes I know I'm not wrong and it's like I can't do anything. Like I literally can't do anything.
And you
Because
can't explain yourself. You can't do it. You literally can't, like, to your point, do anything.
even if I know I'm right and I know he's wrong, I can't even express like you're wrong here, officer, because X, Y, and Z. Because instantly he's going to take it as an insult, and he's going to suddenly go off a power trip. And I've dealt with that before, and I didn't even do anything. Like, I didn't even talk back to him. I was just answering him. But apparently, anyway, I don't get into that. It's just so frustrating.
I think that's what's causing like the weird social dynamic now between police, especially as like American citizens and police, where it's just like as soon as an interaction happens, camcorders on both sides turn on because it's like the only defense for people that know their laws and they have to like act properly and also have proof that they acted properly. Because at that point, like if the officer's account has more weight than yours does in court, so you have to outpace their evidence. But it makes it a weird dynamic because immediately it puts the cop on edge because now he has to like react to being recorded, and it sometimes makes it more aggressive.
Even without the cameras, like it's also annoying when cops go fishing. Like, it's the best thing I can express this is when I got arrested one time. Throughout the interaction, towards the end, the cop literally asked me, "You know, I could take you to jail right now, right?" And I was like, "I mean, if you do, that's gonna suck. I'm not like, there's nothing I can do." I literally verbatim was like, "I mean, there's nothing I can do if you want to do that. It sucks." Like, he was fishing for a reaction out of me, and that's what bothers me even more. Like, they want certain outcomes to happen, or they're testing you to test out what kind of person you are. And I guess in some situations I understand, but in others it's like, why? Like, why? Like, what if I
Arrest
mouthed
me.
off to him and said, "You can't take me to jail. Like, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah." Like, would he have taken me to jail?
Yeah, you would have went to jail with some lumps. I had a cop tell me, en route to jail. Damn, I wish I knew you was this cool before I arrested you.
Isn't that wild?
Son. I did not say a single word for the rest of the ride.
I wanted him either, dude. Oh,
Like, dude, what the
man.
fuck are you talking about?
I was so heated in the moment when he said that to me. I was like, what if I said the wrong thing in that moment? Would he have not let me go? Like, ugh.
It's almost like they want you to beg and like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of
Stroke
want
the
to
ego.
exactly.
And that's why I feel the way I do, because I always do. I always have to make sure I stroke the ego, make sure they're laughing, make sure they feel like I do it because I want to get out of the situation as fast as possible. I don't want to be here any longer than I need to be with you.
and it's such a weird dynamic too, because you could literally be innocent, know you're not doing anything wrong, and you see like a cop get behind you and like
Instantly.
instantly, and then it's an unfair psychological game too, because they'll get behind you to try and make you swerve, try and make
Yes.
you go, and then as soon as you do that, they pull you over for the thing that they know they caused.
I had a
'Cause I
cop
can't.
tailgate me one time, literally on my butt in my car, just kissing my butt until I finally had to pull into my neighborhood years back in like Atlanta when I lived at Grogan's Bluff. Like that, like, yes, on Roswell Road, he was tailgating me
I
the
was gonna say,
whole.
you naming locations, but I guess you don't live there no more.
I
So
don't live there. Screw that place. If cops want people to go there and cause havoc, go there. Screw that place. Screw that
anarchy.
place. Go do what you want to do. Cannot
Did he
stand
actually?
that place.
Did he turn his lights on?
No, he never turned his lights on. He was just like on me, probably running my plates. Anyway, we're ranting now at this point. We're ranting about our disdain and experiences with cops, and let's move on. Any last thing to say, Doc? We kind of like.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So we're still in New York. Now we're switching over to the governor instead of the DA. We're going from the DA to the governor, Kathy Hochul. So this went viral this week or last week. And this is not the first time something like this has gone viral. It just happened to come across Kathy Hochul, and now she's the new viral person doing this.
Biden does it once a week.
Biden does it once a week, 100%. So if you want to play it real quick, Ian, and let's react to her comments.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges. Young black kids growing up in the Bronx.
All right, before we get into the video, I forgot. Let's address the comments. I forgot to address the comments. We got a few. So we have from Miss Chrissy, like John said, a bad day does not excuse you from the law, 100%, especially since we can't use that excuse. Ethan said, she just didn't want to stop because she got power and didn't want to deal with the pleb. She isn't the first New York DA to disrespect officers. That's also true. Hell, there's a video of a New York Supreme Court judge getting arrested by angry cops for putting hands on another cop and dropping names. It's too funny. I gotta see that clip. Exactly, John. I think in regards to what you were saying about the feeling and sentiment, my parents told me to be that's what you're talking about, exactly about that. My parents told me to be respectful and you will be treated the same. This coming from the South Bronx welfare ghetto parent. If a cop gets on edge when you are recording, then they are looking to do something shady. I got pulled over, told the cop I had a recording device going, and he was fine with it. No issues. When cops drop in behind me, I just put on my cruise control. I've done the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. Cruise control has saved my life. You can't say anything. I was on cruise control at this speed. I've done that too. That's valid. Dropping some tech. All right. So Kathy Holschel said black people don't know what computers are. John, do you know what a computer is? Even though you're on one right now?
Seen one a day in my life. Never. Could walk straight past me, wouldn't be able to tell you who it was.
Hey, but she's talking about the Bronx, though. You're from Flatbush. You know, is that
I'm
is
from
that a
Brooklyn.
distinction?
I'm from Brooklyn. My boy's from the Bronx. In the comments, my boy will definitely let you know in the comments if he knows what a computer is. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, she actually said nothing. Her whole sentence was nothing. In layman's terms, her sentence said, if you show these black kids what computers are, they'll be the ones to what? Change the future through technology? This group of kids from the Bronx? Is
Pull
that
themselves
her
out of
whole
poverty
spiel?
or something?
And
Yeah,
she used
but then she makes
every
the Bronx look
word.
like a fucking third world country for some reason.
She might as well have been Shakespeare the way she like tried to. She used so much fluff in her saying that you could tell it was freestyle. There's no way they wrote that down for her. There's no way they wrote down that black kids who be on TikTok dancing. TikTok, one of the most trendiest dances in the world, the little thing where they're kicking their feet and they're doing all that and dropping. It's from the Bronx. It's from the Bronx. How did they get the word out?
That's amazing. How did they do that?
That's a phone, John, not a computer.
Oh, there was no computers involved in watching it go viral. Like she, first off, she don't know nobody black. Let's start there. She don't know nobody black. There's no way if she was in my phone as like a friend or a colleague. Oh man, this woman, right? I hope she never wins another thing in her goddamn life. And it's not even. I don't even take it as racist. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't take this
Really?
as racist. She's just dumb. Like the
Yeah, I
sentence
can see
was
that.
so bad, it's just stupidity. Like
Is it
don't know
prejudice
what
then?
the word computer. She regretted saying the word computer as soon as she said it. It didn't even sound. She said they don't even know what. She
She
probably seen
searched
somebody
for it.
typing on a computer in the audience. Computer. They don't even know what that. Not even that they don't know what computers are. They don't even know what the word signifies. The word computer, not even actual computer. The word computer they've never interacted with. That's what she's saying. So also, she's dissing the public school, private school, all educational systems in the Bronx. She's dissing them because they don't have computers. They're writing on notepads with pencils made of granite and lead. Because I don't know. I don't know. I think she should get a lot of backlash for this. I
I mean, I
I
think
don't know.
she is getting backlash for this. I don't know the
I don't.
degree of the backlash, but I'm pretty sure she's getting some backlash.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the entire state thinks she's a fool for it.
Yeah, she need to
Yeah,
go to hell. That's where she need to go.
but you don't think I'm gonna take the leap here and I'm gonna claim racism.
It was
Like
definitely racism. I
that
just
was a
don't think she's
leap.
intentionally. She's not intentionally showing it. It's leaking.
Okay, fair.
I can
I'll
see
agree
that,
with
yeah.
that. Yeah, but isn't that eh, isn't that interesting that the people who tend to be on the side of this compassion and equality and all this stuff have literal inherent racism in them? Like the fact that in your mind you actually think that a certain race of people, especially in the year 2024, are incompetent when it comes to the use of certain technology. That's wild. Like you are so disconnected. Yeah, you just that I don't
Exactly.
even know what it is. Like
Also,
that's wild.
can I correct something that you said?
Go for it.
She didn't say they didn't know how to use computers, Gene. She said they don't know what the word computer
You're
is.
right.
Do you
Fair.
know how? Do you know what level of disrespect that actually? You don't know what the word computer is? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
So let me
The
see if I
fact
can
that
hold on. Let me defend her here. Maybe the point she was trying to make was computers that become so outdated that everyone uses phones instead.
No, I think her point was that black people in the Bronx are so far into a third world country that they need help in order to benefit the country.
I tried, man.
But
I
like,
tried.
but that's just so degrading, obviously, for black people in the Bronx.
She better be careful. The Bronx is a third world country. She better be careful now.
I mean, with the
'Cause
crime going on in New York right now, I mean, what do you mean careful? She's freaking got probably, I don't know if it's Secret Service, whatever they'd be called, but she's got guards out the wazoo, I bet. She's
she's the governor,
swimming
right?
in, yeah, she's the governor. She's swimming in guards.
Okay, so she's straight.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I don't know. I hope she ain't got no black guards. I don't know, dude.
I was
That's real
thinking that there's a
ridiculous.
black guard from the Bronx that's like, oh man, I don't know what that thing is.
And if you know anything about New York, let me tell you something. There's Manhattan, New York. That's a different type of protest. The protest you would get from the people in the Bronx would be the funniest. Do you know what they would say to the black cop while he was escorting this lady, defending her? Do you know the type of shit I can't even tell you what they would come up with. It would be the most disrespectful. Just the phrase, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. S my D is one of the most common phrases in New York. We go straight to it for disrespect. That's our starting point. Starting point. Do you know what, man? I'm surprised we didn't even hear a gasp. There was nothing, no audible noise coming from that crowd.
you think she actually
You know
has a
what happened?
crowd? Like, you think if that camera turned around, you think there's an actual crowd there? No one likes these people.
I can tell you what, there wasn't no real black person in that crowd.
It's a
It
bunch
was
of
not
this.
a
It's
real
a bunch
black
of her
person in that
college
crowd.
friends. Like, that's one thing that bothers me about this. I'm gonna leak a little bit here. Is all these people who we'd see as these elected officials, these elites, these people influence, there's no one actually normal who likes them. It's all the same people doing a circle jerk, patting each other on the back. The only person who actually has normal people supporting them is, I'm sorry to say it, is Trump. He's the only person that's actually able to get normal people to come out and support him. And I'm not trying to do this as a Trump support thing, but he's the only person I see in that sphere who has massive crowds come out and support him who are, I don't even want to say normal,
Who
but just
support both.
not.
There are normal people who support both parties. It's just they're dumb.
People who
Like
support
there are
both
normal
parties are
people.
dumb.
There are normal people who would excuse this behavior because they believe this person's policies or whatever it is something like I don't want to say I don't want to say every person who believes in them. Some people just vote based on party, which I don't think is the smartest thing to do.
I'm not
But
talking
some
about
people,
voters. I'm specifically talking about people who go to events. I'm
okay, yeah, they want to,
specifically talking about people
yeah,
who actually go out of their way to attend these events of these type of people.
I agree.
Trump is the only one that I can think of who actually gets people to go out of their way to travel, even camp, just to go to one of his events. You don't see that happening at Biden, Kathy Hochul, Kamala, Nancy Pelosi, like even Republicans, like you, I don't like you just don't see that.
Even to be
But,
fair,
like,
too,
let me
like
ask you something.
Trump
Do you
is
really
good at
think that kind of
marketing.
behavior is normal?
What kind of behavior is normal?
Like going to camp out to watch a rally of a politician.
No, it's not.
Probably not.
Like that's the
But
kind
I'm
of
different though, just because I associate that similar as people who go to camp out to buy Taylor Swift tickets. Like it's the same sentiment in my opinion. I don't think those people are normal
And they're
either.
going for entertainment.
Exactly, it's
yeah. I
exactly.
think
It's
that's kind of a
So
murky
then
thing
that
about
kind
it.
of takes away from your argument because Trump is literally entertaining. Like you can't compare Trump to anybody because it's
sure,
actually entertaining.
fair, sure. I don't think it takes away from my point though, because I think it's an element that Trump's able to capitalize on or harness to help garner what's the word? Not
But if
attention,
people
but
are going there to be
support. There we go. The
entertained,
garner support.
but if people are going there to be entertained, it takes away from the fact that you're going there for the politics
I'm
of it.
not saying they're going there to be entertained. I'm saying it's the same energy as people going somewhere for entertainment. Do some people go
You
there for
believe when you go
entertainment?
to a Trump
Sure.
rally,
But
I believe when you go to a Trump rally, you're going to be entertained. I'll be honest with you.
sure. I
Because
don't
like
think, yeah, I
no,
don't
no,
dispute
but
that.
honestly speaking, I think any of these rallies you're going to some sort of entertainment, but Trump specifically, he's going to work. He does things that people with stage presence, musicians, comedian, he does
Agreed.
things.
But
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
and
not.
to go to Doc's point, that's not normal. At least
That's
I don't
not
think that's normal.
exactly. Trump is an anomaly. Is all I'm saying. Like he is
Oh, fair.
completely like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think Biden's charismatic enough to be able to draw people for crowds. I think people are just kind of like hearing what he's doing, and they're just like, "All right, it's not the worst thing. I'll just settle with it," or "I'm for this,"
It's
or
not the word.
Pull up.
yeah.
I would pull up to watch Joe Biden go up 100 steps.
Nah, I'd
100
pull up
steps.
to listen to Joe Biden try to give an ad lib. I just want to hear him go off. Just don't no teleprompter. I just want to hear you speak. Try.
You know the thing.
That would be entertaining.
Where are we going?
Go on a tangent about some story that never happened. He might even pull a Kathy Holtram moment, and he's done it before. He might do it again.
He said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
So, yeah, man.
Where's all the if you don't vote for me, you're not white talk? Where's that? Where's that? Huh? It's so hard being black. It's so strict being black. I don't know.
It's because
so many-
unfortunately, I don't know who you want to give credit to, either be it the elected officials or the media. I don't know who you want to give the credit to, but they successfully put black people in a box and they cannot leave that box. If you vote or do anything outside of that box, you're instantly shunned. You're instantly
Shit
ostracized.
that shit dead. That shit died this year.
It is. I'm actually kind of interesting to watch how because I think that's the reason why
I tell you, but didn't I tell you?
you did.
Did
Yes,
I
you
tell
did.
you niggas was gonna come around? Go ahead.
But that's why you don't hear phrases like, if you ain't do this, you're not white or blah, blah, blah. Because white people, even like, I guess it's kind of ironic to say white people are diverse, but like white people have a pretty diverse way of
I agree.
thinking. Like,
Well,
and
I think that the
Who says
last
black
election
people
played
didn't have a
out the
diverse way
race
of thinking?
issues so
I,
much that now the fallout from that election, everyone's kind of wise to it. We're like, oh, you didn't keep any of those promises, or like you're just kind of
you did the exact opposite of what you said you're
yeah,
going to
exactly.
do.
Yeah,
Told who said that this was gonna be the last chance the Democratic Party had for a
that's true.
long
You did
time.
say that. Yeah.
For a long time. Who said this election would have been the one where somebody independent could have won if they had enough steam. This
And I
would have
was
been the
hoping
one.
that was Vivek. I was hoping that was Vivek, but couldn't do it.
Yeah, I actually think it's kind of weird. Like I heard a lot more of
Weird.
Vivek's speeches and stuff like that after he dropped out, and I was like, why didn't this guy get propped up?
Because he wasn't
I
part of
agree.
the mainstream
Right.
group of people,
Yeah,
and he
I think the mainstream is just like the people are going to choose what we give them, and then they're just fucking giving us what they do. Which
yeah,
is,
I can tell you how it works in it's probably similar, but in Nigerian politics, it's like a wait your turn thing. You let somebody else run, even if you have aspirations of running, they give you a promise. They either give you a promise of a seat in cabinet, or they give you a promise of uh, maybe somewhere in your native area or somewhere like that. They'll give you in charge of education. One dumb position, they'll overpay you for the position, and then you slowly wait your turn till you're the senior person, and then you get to run. So like
don't like
he's
that.
paying his dues. But it also shows as intelligent as he is, he still does forego some type of, I guess, power to the main party system, the two-party system, as far as like,
Because he did run Republican and Independent. If he ran
yeah,
Independent, maybe he would have made. I don't know if that would have made a difference or not. Maybe I don't know. And I think another reason why it was hard for Vivek to make an impact was because I think he comes across too similar to Trump. Speaks his mind, has no problem being abrasive, but he does it with like I would say a level of like eloquence and class to it. Thank
yeah,
you.
he's much more logical and much more eloquent than Trump.
100%. But he has a lot of his policies are very similar to what Trump wants to do. I just actually believe Vivek would do it, and it goes against. It also supports what I've been saying for years on this podcast with y'all. Is I want someone younger, fresh blood. Boom, him, and I was like literally everything I've been asking
think
for.
do you think you'd make a good VP?
Yes, actually I would, but I think he'd make some mistakes, but I think it'd be important for him if he wants to pursue a political career. And the reason why I think he'd make a good VP is because he would support Trump in everything he wants to do if Trump is honest with everything he wants to do. And when I say honest, I mean like sticks to everything he wants to do. Like doesn't change his mind
That
or
right
pull a
there,
political move.
that's my one impasse with Trump this go around. I don't see that. I don't see this. I see revenge, bro. I see blood on the floor. I see fire and brimstone, because that's exactly what I do. So maybe I'm projecting, but that's exactly. Y'all fucked with me for how long? Y'all think if I get in this, man, this is Game of Thrones, brother.
It is Game of Thrones, 100%. Like, it's kind of real life Game of Thrones. And I agree with you, John. I think if he gets elected, he's going scorched earth. He's going to go get his due, and I'm okay with it. These people need it, and they deserve it.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is if like he'll scorch earth but leave himself at the top.
Like, he won't leave office? Like, what do you mean he'll leave himself at the top? Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what you
something
mean.
like that, or just like some way to make it to where like he
Can run a third time?
no, but just like establish like his own footing, like maybe have his family be able to just take the next presidential role, or like
Oh, you mean like establish the Trump name in the political sphere?
yeah, and then he
His
just
main goal.
kind of creates like a circle of nepotism.
Oh, I agree with that.
What's his main
100%.
goal?
I
Yeah,
think he's
because I mean we have hard rules where he can't do it unless like like we see some crazy scummy shit like creating wars and stuff like that to keep emergency powers.
we're gonna
But
see that with Biden. I again, conspiracy mind here. I have nothing to support this. Is me being crazy, stupid Gene. But I don't think Biden's going to let Trump win office. I think Biden's going to pull some emergency power stuff because what's going on with Israel and Ukraine. And sorry guys, war's going on. We can't have an election. I do not see Trump doing that. 100% see Biden doing that.
I could
See
see
any
that.
president doing that shit. Be honest with you, bro. There are certain things where niggas be like, all right, bro. All right, bro. Now that, all right, bro. You can say what you want. I know this is conspiracy Gene, so I'm not saying it's impossible. But come on, bro. War, then stop the war. Then stop that. Stop that.
Stop funding it. Stop sending
Don't
stuff
do
over
that.
there. Just stop.
Don't do that. Yeah, just don't do that.
Yeah, I think
You don't need to be problem
I think
solved.
he's getting into a
You don't
position
need to be
where
president.
with Gaza and Israel where like it's like too out of hand, and he's already pulling back, like sending arms to them. He's like giving conditions now for armament. I think that one's kind of rolling away from him, where he's like, "Fuck, I can't use this to like keep my presidency or anything like
He's not. First off, he would have to say emergency crisis 5 times fast for me to even think.
that." Yeah, we're not. You know the thing. I have to say because of the thing.
That's terrifying, man. That is terrifying,
He's our jazz snapping.
man. Any last thoughts, guys? I don't know if I have any more to say this because if I talk more, I'm gonna go down rabbit holes.
Well, also, I don't want you to upset yourself before dinner.
Before my day, I got a shower, come out, cool off. Don't worry.
Same, I got a shower too.
Be raging in that shower, steaming.
All right, let's read some comments. Okay, so we got oh, here we go. Boom. I build computers from Ethan. I build computers, servers, home, and small business networks, but no, I don't know what a computer is. Ethan Sean, it's racism and elitism. Notice she didn't say anything about poor white kids. 100%. They never do, honestly. They never do.
Well, how many poor white kids in the Bronx, bro? Let's be real. let's be real.
Yeah, they call them rednecks for a reason.
If they white, they probably Jewish or of some other like
Jews poor?
Jews in the Bronx.
Ah,
Poor.
okay.
No.
Gotcha.
I mean, hey, we're not allowed to hold on.
I'm sorry, you're right. My bad. Hold on, my bad. Take it back.
Hold
You
on.
two were sorry. We're
There are
joking.
Jews
Whoa.
of every demographic. Okay, so whoa, that was a setup. But okay,
No,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. You're right. My bad. Murky territory. I didn't mean to.
He's
I was
right.
just joking, YouTube.
Poor
That
Jews.
was a bad joke. That was a bad joke. Okay, I know it's a bad joke, YouTube. Bad
Poor
joke.
Jews is crazy. If I find one, you have to put them on display.
Okay, he also said Jim Crow laws, Democrats. Anti-segregation and busing, Democrats. Destruction of the Black Wall Street, Democrats. And they replaced that with welfare state. Isn't that interesting? I see Trump
Welfare itself was the Democrats.
Yes, it was. That was Lyndon B. Johnson, Great Society.
Yeah, evil eyes. And he said, "What's what this gonna do to black?"
Yep.
Sprinkle some of that crack in that community.
Sprinkle. Man. Anyway. I see Trump 2024 being the revenge tour, and I'm here for it. Me too, man. Me too. We're probably the very few that are, but it is what it is. Ethan, they will find him guilty of a felony and disqualify him because they know if he loses the next one, things will get bad.
That's what I'm thinking.
Me too.
I know everyone's like, well, it's not apparent, but I actually do think that the trials right now are election interference. Like, they're trying to get him out.
Doc, what?
No, I generally do think that, or I'm just like, oh, it's kind of ironic. But I also think that the Republicans are running their own interference. I actually think the ban on TikTok is election interference.
Oh, 100%. Because Republicans are like, well, if Democrats are doing it, why aren't we doing it? And I don't like it, but I'm here for it because it facilitates what I've been saying and burn it down. Like all this is going to end up resulting in the erosion of our politics, and we need it to crumble for it to rise better. Because right now, like as y'all know, my opinion on it, it's corrupt to the core, and the only way to salvage it is to completely destroy it and rebuild.
But I think it's got a lot of issues. Like obviously with the trials, it's like, oh shit, like if he gets knocked out, then we will actually witness some crazy, I guess, like political character assassination. You know what I mean?
They're already doing it. It's just gonna. Like,
yeah, that's true. But this is more like on paper. I would say. But the other way is like giving the Republicans, or it's not even really the Republicans, it's just the government in general. It's like giving them a law that allows them to define foreign adversaries is kind of dangerous. And I know it's up to Congress to define who is the foreign adversary, but like any company that works with a foreign adversary at that point is subject to be able to just get like axed. So it's like if Amazon steps out of line, it's like, hey, you can't work with those production factories.
Or probably more realistically, if X steps out of line.
That too, yeah. I mean, even Apple. Like, I saw one, I guess, like economist talking about it. He thinks that it'll turn into a tit for tat type thing, where it's just like all of a sudden China will be like, all right, Apple, get the hell out of here. Then, if you guys can't have TikTok over there, then you can't have your hardware here. How do we know your hardware's safe? It's made in America. Like we don't.
It's interesting.
We don't know for sure. And so, like,
valid though, like that'd be valid in doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, like every company at that point would just start like ejecting out of each other's countries just for commercial warfare.
And if that happens, we're 100%. I would argue like some kind of world war is inevitable then, because that means we're no longer.
We're not trading, so there's no point in fighting.
Yeah, we're not trading. We're not commingling. Yeah, exactly, 100%. 100%. We're steering towards some weird times, my friend. Some very weird times if things don't course correct. Do you think things will course correct?
We're capable of getting it right.
Yeah.
Things will always teeter.
I think one side has to be like accepting. Like one side has to show trust or just take the dive and like completely go in on faith. Just be like, you know what? I'm tired of figuring out if you're lying. I'm just gonna trust you. And then I think at that point, then relations will start. Because otherwise, it's just like, well, you're lying. Well, how do I know you're lying? Well, you don't. I don't know. It's just nothing but paranoia. The only way to stop it is for somebody to just be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna take you for what you say.
Take the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's assuming the person you're trusting actually does what the fuck they say they're gonna do.
Good intentions, moral character, whatever, like all that stuff. Exactly.
The time it takes to build that type of trust, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, a couple more. No, one more. You skipped over the most important posts, starting with the KKK one. Discuss. I need to hear you guys take on it. What KKK post? Is there something that we missed? Is it on here or? Let me see. What is it regards to? Because I didn't see anything recently about some KKK stuff, unless you're alluding to like Democrats and being the founding party of the KKK or whatever. Like, unless you're talking about that.
Were they really?
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln himself was a Republican.
post. I'm trying to go through. Unless you post something in the Discord that you're talking about, I don't see anything. Or you're talking
Yeah.
about.
I don't see anything either.
Or did you see here on YouTube chats that? Oh, he said that. So I'm assuming he's talking about the Democrats and the KKK thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's the only.
I
That's the
don't
only
see
thing.
anything trending with the KKK.
Well, he said, and the mixed race thing. What do you mean mixed race? Because I'm like, I guess elaborate. What do you mean by mixed race? Because I mean, real quick while he's typing, one thing I personally don't. How do I explain this? I've expressed this sentiment before, and I probably got to find a better way to express it because it probably comes across a little bit too like I think the word would be maybe elitist, maybe not elitist, but like not even nationalist, but like I think mixed people are the future of America.
Like mixed
I don't
race
think
people?
yes, mixed race people. I don't
Oh, for
think
sure.
America is meant to be like white, black, Mexican, or anything like the whole ideology of America will inevitably, in my opinion, result in a mixed race. Because America is not based off of a culture, it's based off of an ideology. And the ideology is about, this whole freedom and whatnot. And I think we've gotten away from that.
I don't think America is supposed to be mixed. I think ideally America was supposed to respect each culture. I just don't think we're capable of doing it.
That's
If
fair.
that makes sense. Like, so
But
I
that's
think
why
the
it
sense of
eventually was. Sorry,
no,
finish up.
I do agree with your solution, but I do hate the fact that sometimes I hate the fact that we have to make a solution that kind of gives people the easy way out. And like us when we say that, we're basically saying the only way we end up getting along is when we all finally mix and we're all just mixed, which is crazy. Not crazy, but it's sad, if you will. I think that's sad. I think it's weird that we can't just respect each other. But like I say too, I don't think the average person is really that disrespectful. I don't even
Honestly, I think we can. Like, if again, you got to take stats and polls and whatnot with a grain of salt because they can easily, influence it a certain direction. But you only saw an increase in this division between the races around like I don't know
media.
if it was on. You said what?
Media.
The rising media, which happened around the 2010 era, when they started, then when algorithms got really pushed, like they I forgot what I was watching, but they explained it. Like if someone wants to watch, let's say, police arrest videos, they see police arrest videos, and then suddenly if you add an extra element, the police arresting black people, you suddenly that gets even double the amount of views, blah blah blah. Like the algorithm just got out of hand. Where suddenly started feeding these certain images that help fuel this division.
I do think I think we're living in an overcorrection, like in a period of overcorrection. I do agree with that. Like to your point, the algorithm is if the algorithm knows I'm black, I predominantly watch black media, and then I type in police, it's automatically going to incorporate the fact that I watch black media with police, see what's the most popular trending thing amongst the two topics, and force feed me black people being arrested by police. But on the other hand, I feel the same time we reached a period where people were saying there were problems going on, and we finally could say, see, I've been telling y'all this has been going on. And now y'all can see it. And so there was an overreaction to people finally, I don't know if it's guilt, I don't know what you want to call it, but there was an overcorrection to finally people being able to see on video the things that people have been complaining about.
100%.
Yeah, well, I completely agree with your media take.
And we're like, and you pointed out, it was a double-edged sword. It was a good and bad thing. It was a bad thing because obviously it's heavily indoctrinated people into a certain ideology that probably wasn't true or heavily misinformed. And second thing, which I think, I don't know, arrogantly think on the other side, which was it helped me discern media to the point where I had to like it ironically woke me up. And as you pointed out, like as the joke you made about, and this is the Democrats, this is their one shot, because they don't get it here, then they like this and that. Like
Period on the time period.
yeah, it woke people up. It made people very aware of the influence that media and everyone else has on them and the things they watch. And now people, and I'm not talking about this, how you have to actively be conscious of what you're feeding the algorithm and what you're clicking on and liking and interacting with, so your algorithm doesn't go haywire and start showing you stuff that's like, why am I seeing this? People are becoming more conscientious of that because of what's been going on. And it's like I said, it's the double-edged sword. It's bad because you got people who can't do that and they're propagandized, indoctrinated with some crazy stuff. Be it, you know, Trump people thinking Trump's the next Jesus, which is wild. And you got people over here on the liberal side who think they're going to be the Gaza freaking saviors. You know, we're going to protest Gaza because we're going to bring freedom to them. It's like, y'all are wild. Y'all are wild.
You know why they're protesting?
They don't even know why they're protesting. Exactly. It's a genocide.
People got a lot of time on their
Okay.
hands. People get a lot of time on their hands. I'm convinced that people don't have journalists because there's just no way find the time to go protest.
They're
And you
getting
really,
paid. They're getting paid, John. You know what they're getting paid by? Rich people who want a certain political ideology to be expressed, to get some pushback. I'm alluding to George Soros. A lot of these people are funded by George Soros types. That's where they're getting funny. I don't know how much they're getting paid, but they're getting these materials from somewhere, and they're getting compensated somehow. I'm not saying they're getting richly compensated, but there is compensation.
seen the anime Kaiji?
I think like maybe at some point like there's like professional groups that would do that, but I think for the most part it's just internet like what's the word, like
Chasers.
treasury systems, where it's just like you have a bunch of protesters, everyone throws in $100, you all make like whatever you need, and you just go do it. Like,
You think they have $100 to just throw in like that?
I mean, I don't think they have a lot of money, but I think they have enough money to pull together to do something small, and like that's why they do like weird stuff where it's just like, hey, I'm just gonna sit in and I'm just gonna put like cement on my hand and just fuse myself to this building. Like that doesn't cost a lot of money, you know what I mean? But 5 people doing that is a problem to a company, and so I really don't think that, and I kind of don't entirely think that the protests for Gaza are directly for certain groups of elites. Because if you think about it now, like it's obviously a problem for the current elites. Like Biden has issue with all the schools rioting at once or protesting at once, and sometimes even turning into riots and stuff like that. It's something he had to address publicly. And also, like the current administration really does support Israel's offensive nature towards Gaza. Like they're supporting them with weapons and stuff like that. But then you have like schools and uprise, and he's still trying to hold true to the same narrative that they're just defending themselves, and that goes counterintuitive to the logic of that. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't want them protesting like that. So then why would they do that for themselves?
So when I was being too specific when I named George Soros, I don't literally mean George Soros is giving out money because, like you said, it's counterproductive. I mean he has a organization that is in charge of dishing out these monies to protest groups to facilitate protests. So it's actually shown in some organizations when they hear that their organization has been funding some of these protests, they've had to actively step in and be like, whoa, 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 why are you funding this? Stop this. I'm just saying that these organizations that have been notorious for funding these protests have been funding things that necessarily should not have been funding, and now you got these people coming in and say, stop doing this. Like, no, this is bad for us. And that goes to your point about saying these protests have been bad for Biden. 100%, they have been, because Biden is actively trying to. I don't know if it's fair to say play both sides. I'm of the view he's trying to play both sides, but he's trying to be copacetic. And these protests are not benefiting him, and these protests are directly funded by Biden supporting elites like George Soros, specifically organizations funded by George Soros. And then they realize we're funding things that aren't helping our cause. Let's stop. It's gotten out of hand. It's gotten to the point where, as John has been waiting for, I think we're hitting the point where the snake's finally eating itself. Exactly, like these people don't like. You're funding a bunch of kids to protest against Israel when you're a big advocate of Israel. Speaking about Biden, it's like, yeah, man, that's not a good look for you. Like you're using the youth vote now because of this. Like it was stupid.
Yeah, we all noticed the
That's
hypocrisy
fine.
that he's kind of sitting on now because he has his commitments to Israel, and at the same time, like he's losing control of his youth vote.
What if I can't remember. This nigga not for the win, dog. It's gonna take if Biden wins, boy, oh boy, I might need to take a trip. I might need to take a trip out the country. Because ain't no way it's gonna be peace. Trump can't go to jail and Biden can't win. Those two things can't like I think what we're coming to is an impasse where the blatant insult is now becoming too blatant. Like the way they're insulting is
I got it,
becoming too
Ethan.
blatant.
I got you, Ethan.
Go ahead.
No, finish your thought first.
No, I'm just saying the insults that they're giving us, they're too blatant. It's too obvious now. To your point of people funding protest and all that stuff. I mean, I believe that stuff going on. Being in Atlanta, I saw the rocks that were brought out during the George Floyd riots. His name George Floyd.
If you're talking about the George Floyd riots, his name was George Floyd.
Yeah, George Floyd. Yeah, I remember driving through the city and seeing the rocks like in cages. Like it's never been there before. So I do agree with outside forces doing these things, but I also agree like when you're doing stuff behind the shadows, especially with multiple people, you're only working in unison when your goals align. And somewhere along that path, if you're doing something in the shadows and there's some type of negative emotion where it's greed or any of those concepts are involved, eventually you and the other individual, you're going to take the greedy path. You're going to take the one that's more self-serving for you. So I feel like we're reaching an impasse where the party was able to control that sector for a long time, and now it seems that sector finally has their own goals, their own aspirations, and
Interests
now
aren't aligned anymore.
the interests aren't aligned anymore. And that goes for both sides. You've seen a split in the Republican Party too. So
That's true.
I think it's just for people to adjust, like you say, stay away from main media and try and keep it as informed as possible. That's all you can do.
Yeah, it's not even staying away from main media. You have to watch the main media because they're still influential to the degree that they are. Unfortunately, it's you got to take both. You got to take the mainstream media and the independent media and do your best
Right.
to just cross reference and see what's true, what's not true, who's biased, who's not biased, and all that. Like who's fair,
You're
who's
right.
unfair. Like it's unfortunately it is very arduous because I know it's probably annoying for y'all to hear me, but I listen to politics every day. I'm super plugged in, and I know it's probably super annoying to have a friend who's just super plugged into politics and always probably sharing posts about politics in the chat. But like,
You give me the info, like you inform
Always
me on a lot
telling
of
me
things
about
that are
how
going
plugged
on.
in he is. I'm just like, God damn.
Fucking George Soros over
I know,
here.
right? That's all you know. I'm going, Gene.
but you just have to be because if you want to get accurate information, you have to take that extra step to make sure that I feel confident that I'm getting information that I'm not being one of these people who believe Trump's
Manipulated.
Jesus or manipulate like Trump's Jesus or got like genocide's going on. We got to fight for whatever stuff going on. Like I do my best, and it's a lot of extra effort that I understand people don't want to do, but I annoyingly do it. All right, I think John's got to go, so we're over an hour. So let's real quick address Ethan's comments because I think YouTube is either censoring Ethan or censoring us, or something crazy happened because these definitely did not show up in the feed of the comment section I'm watching. But Ethan
We
said,
said a lot of weird names today. We said
right?
Soros a lot.
Ethan said Democrats are these are the deleted comments. I don't know if they're deleted, but the ones that didn't show up. Democrats are racist elites with the greatest public relations team on the planet to make everyone believe the Republicans are the racists. Oh yeah, the KKK. Their 6 founding members were Confederates, aka Dixiecrats, aka Southern Democrats. It's like how the white elite Democrats call Obama black. He isn't, because his father was black. Why does his race default to black and not white? Because of racism. You can be mixed race of white, and you will always be of the race that is not white because you are not pure-blooded. Think about it.
Wait. I agree with everything he said. This is my opinion. If you're black and mixed with anything else, you're black. And the reason why I say this is because I'm not saying culturally black. I'm just saying when you mix a palette of colors, when you mix anything with white, the other color is the more predominant color shown. So mixed people more than not identify with. There are mixed people who will say, I'm not black or white, but there's more that will say they're black. I don't know two of them that say they're white. I'm telling you right now. I don't know any mixed people that identify as white.
Yeah, I've never identified as white or Mexican. I've always said I'm mixed. Like, anyone asks me, like, are you Mexican? No, I'm mixed. And they always ask me, what are you mixed with? And I don't say white, I say Irish, because it's Irish. Like, my white side, I'm O'Neill. Like, it's Irish.
I agree. When people ask me if I'm black, I mean, well, they don't ask me, but when they ask me or whatever, I always say I'm African.
Dang,
Like,
John, you black? I couldn't tell.
my first answer is always like, oh, yeah, but I'm African. Like, I always say I am of African descent. So, no, I get you. I get you, Ethan. Go ahead. You can keep reading his other.
He was just he sent the screenshot in the chat of like that for some reason did not show up. I do not know why. Probably because he was being critical of. Probably, right? And then his last comment right here was well, he said, check this where I did. We will be fucked if he wins a second term, talking about Biden. And I 100% agree with that.
There too. Honestly speaking, even if he doesn't change a damn thing, we can't take 4 more years of nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm thinking of too. Where I'm just like, it's not even that like he's not doing enough; it's that he's not doing anything. So it's like,
We are literally serving out a jail sentence with this nigga.
Yeah. All right. Any last comments, guys? All right, hey, one more comment. Let's close it out. No, I'm Puerto Rican, Black, Native American, and Italian. To Black folk, I'm Puerto Rican. To Puerto Ricans, I'm Black. To Italians, I'm ignored. And to the Native Americans, I get nothing but love. Left.
Why Italians ignore you?
Yo, I don't know.
Hey, fuck them Italians that ignore you, brother. Fuck.
Yo, I've seen Sopranos, man. If he's in those areas, I believe
I'll be
it.
real with you.
I believe it.
I'll be real with you. You can't be sometimes black using the N-word, brother. When you decide that you gonna embark on this journey of N-words, you're picking your team.
That's funny. Man, that don't think should be a team, bro. We're all mixed. We're all American. We're all like, no one's pure blood. John might be because he's Nigerian. Doc maybe because he's like.
No, I'm not. I'm a mutt. I'm Saudi Arabian, Nigerian.
Oh,
Yeah,
are you?
Indian.
See, like we're all mixed. That's why this whole thing, in my opinion, is stupid. But anyway, let's not get back into it. We're trying to close it out because we got things to do. I got to shower because I'm all sticky and sweaty. Blah blah blah. Thank you all for tuning in to Fake News. They can listen to our rants and our opinions. Love you, Ethan. Please leave a comment if you haven't left a comment. Like the video if you liked it. Share it also. We will see you guys next time on Fake Deep Thinking. Peace.
Peace out, y'all. Yo, thanks for making it to the end. We really appreciate it and hope you all enjoyed the show.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and the notification bell to get notified when we post our clips.
Follow us on Twitter at PodcastFDT. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are all Fake Deep Thinking. Check us out, please.
FDT. Peace, y'all.
Peace.